create a plan and start turning that plan into action. So you're thinking about getting a commercial driver's license. Fantastic. Put a plan in place today to start making that a reality ASAP. There's no bigger predictor of what you're going to be paying for insurance when you do start driving a truck like this than the length of time that you've had your commercial driver's license for. There's two drawbacks, as I see it, to getting a commercial driver's license. They may be non-issues to you, they were non-issues for me. But one is the blood alcohol concentration. In the state of California, they will legally allow you to drive with anything lower than a 0.08. The second you get your commercial driver's license, that's going to drop to a 0.04. And it doesn't matter if you're in a big truck or your personal vehicle, your new acceptable blood alcohol concentration is 0.04. So if that's an issue for you, know that going into it. The second thing is medical clearance. This is something that renews every 2 years. You're going to have to go to a physician, they're going to do a physical, and they're going to determine, and they're going to say if you're physically fit to drive a truck like this. So very similar to getting your driver's license when you turn 16. There are two components to getting your CDL. One is knowledge-based, one is skills-based. As far as preparing for the written test, a couple ways you can go about this. One, obviously, you can go to the DMV and pick up the paper form book. It's about 150 to 200 pages. Read the whole thing if you want. If you don't want to go to the DMV, you can go to the DMV's website and download the exact same thing in PDF. So whatever kind of learner you are, if you prefer paper, if you prefer digital, you've got both options available to you. One thing that really helped me, there's an app out there. I love the price of it. It's free. It is called CDL PREP. I'll put a link in the description. This not only runs through sample questions that you see on the test, they're worded in the exact same way that they show up on the test. So if you can get good at this app and get proficient at answering the questions, I have no doubt that you will pass. As far as the skills portion goes, you're going to show up at a DMV test facility. They're going to have the parking lot marked off with cones, and you're going to have to perform a few maneuvers. One, they're going to expect you to do a straight back. They're also going to expect you to do an offset back, and then it will be the proctor's choice of whether or not you parallel park the truck or alley dock the truck. Once you complete those, the proctor is going to jump in the truck with you, and you're going to drive around for a little bit to be sure you can handle the truck in a real-world setting on the roads that you're currently driving on. As far as the training is concerned, there's two paths to get there. One is paying to go to school. This is the route that I took. The cost was $5,000. I went at night. It was 6 weeks long. Had I gone during the day, it would have been 4 weeks long. But a great program, taught me everything that I felt like I needed to know and to get me sitting in this seat here today. The non-school route to getting your CDL is to enroll in some sort of company-sponsored training. I can't drive anywhere through town without seeing a truck with an advertisement on the back saying no experience required, CDL training provided. Seems like a good deal. And sure, you didn't have to pay $5,000 to go to school. I get that. But the important thing to consider is, what is the opportunity cost of what your potential earnings could have been if you owed them no contract versus what are they going to pay you during that 1 to 2 year time when you're paying back the time you owe them that's left on your contract. And be sure and check for updates. In the short time that I've had my CDL, the rules have already changed. I got mine back in October of 2021, and on February 7th, 2022, the FMCSA now requires that all drivers complete what's called an ELDT, or an entry-level driver training. Basically, they provide you a list of providers that are acceptable and meet the criteria that they require for you to get your CDL. I'll put a link in the description to their website. It'll take you there. You can be sure, if you're considering going to a school, that you go to a school that is accredited through the FMCSA. In closing, if you're thinking about being an owner-operator one day, if it's a dream, if it's an aspiration, create a plan and start turning that plan into action, because the sooner you get your CDL, the more money you'll be saving on day one when you start looking for those commercial auto policies. You hear a lot of guys on here talking about that $1 million policy, that $1 million policy. That $1 million policy costs a lot if you haven't had your CDL very long. So get on it, start making it happen. I wish I did. I hope you can learn from this. Take care.